It now smells like a humid day inside Joy Behar's moo-moo. The motives stink worse than Joy Behar's jog bra. I mean, assuming she jogs. Oh, wait, there she is. She has a point. Maybe I am obsessed, but some people are obsessed with Bigfoot, and they don't get to see him on TV every afternoon. And if they did, could they tell the two apart? I don't know.
Joy Behar just walked into a comedy crossfire. On one side, Bill Maher with his sharp wit, and on the other, Grave Gutfeld bringing his usual wild energy. The result? Total chaos, non-stop laughs, and a seriously bruised ego. Let's just say Joy didn't see this roast coming.
And by the way, out there, that hat that you keep wearing, that red hat that says "Make America Great Again," that tells people that you go along with this. So you might as well just put a swastika on the hat.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Because we see it anyway.
I'm not going to defend Donald Trump ever, but I would never say that we should put the swastika on the cap, because I think you can hate Donald Trump. You can't hate everybody who likes him. It's half the country. I don't want to live in that country. I don't want to live in the country where I hate half the country, and I don't hate half the country.
How dare you disagree?
If you've ever seen a roast so brutal it should have needed a fire permit, this was it. Bill Maher and Greg Gutfeld didn't just throw shade at Joy Behar. They tore her arguments apart and left her scrambling for relevance. Joy's been on daytime TV for over 20 years, turning political rants into daily monologues, like she's auditioning for a TED talk nobody asked for. It's the same routine: loud opinions, dramatic takes, and a stage built for one. But this time, something different happened. Maher and Gutfeld, two guys from totally opposite sides of politics, teamed up like an unlikely buddy cop duo. And their mission? Definitely not unity. They didn't just disagree with Joy, they made her the punchline. The View never saw it coming, but the internet sure did. Joy Behar might just be the poster child for the chaos in today's media: loud, dramatic, and way too comfortable in the mess she helped make.
Last week, Joy Behar accused Elon Musk of being pro-apartheid, but then begged him afterwards not to sue. Musk lawyers have yet to comment because they're still checking to see if it's legal to sue a cow.
Shots fired.
Just a legal question. I don't know why it's so upsetting. I don't make the rules in this country. All right.
This wasn't a debate. No shouting, no on-set showdown. Just two media voices from opposite ends of the spectrum landing on the same truth without even talking to each other. Joy Behar's brand of TV drama has gone unchecked for way too long. Let's start with Bill Maher. He's always been quick to call out nonsense, but lately he's made it personal. Especially when that nonsense is disguised as woke wisdom. These days, Maher sounds more like your fed-up uncle at Thanksgiving, tired of explaining basic facts to people quoting TikTok like it's scripture. But now his sarcasm has evolved into something sharper, a mission to expose fake intellects and performative activists. You know, the kind of people who speak in sound bites but never say anything real. And if that movement had a face, it'd be Joy Behar, bangs and all. He didn't even have to say her name. His takedown said it all. A show driven by feelings, not facts. Hosts who mistake claps for credibility. A panel where honest disagreement gets treated like betrayal. Maher dropped the hammer on the kind of media circus Joy helped create, mocking the fake outrage, the shallow takes, and the constant self-congratulation.
The View?
It's called The View. It's not called The Facts.
Yeah, but
It's
isn't it interesting that it's called, I mean, I don't think they meant this when Barbara Walters invented it a long time ago, but it's The View.
Well,
that's the problem in America.
But
there is one view,
right, and
one
that's clearly
true opinion, and everybody else can go sit in the corner.
That's correct. I think that's not.
And here's the wild part. Bill Maher wasn't even trying to roast Joy Behar. He didn't need to. Just by calling out the nonsense, her whole act got exposed. He didn't throw shade, he dropped the whole tree. Maher went in on fake moral posturing like he was slicing through soft butter. And while he was tearing apart the culture of outrage for views, it became pretty obvious who fit the description. No name needed, you knew who he was talking about. Joy Behar wasn't caught in the crossfire, she was the target. The sarcasm had her silhouette all over it. She's become the go-to punchline for everything people mock about progressive media, loud, overly dramatic, convinced that being offended equals being right. Real depth, replaced with smug one-liners, and every opinion delivered like a Broadway solo, full pause, big sigh, slow-motion eye roll. Meanwhile, Maher, he's not subtle. Picture him with a scotch in hand, calmly dismantling the whole performance. Now picture Joy standing on the table, yelling, "I'm offended," before anyone even finishes a sentence. Maher didn't come with jabs, he brought a wrecking ball. His monologue didn't just poke at daytime TV. He tore through it, calling out the performative nonsense hiding behind emotional soundbites. Because in his eyes, these shows aren't about real conversation anymore, they're echo chambers. And right at the center, Joy Behar, mic in hand, fueled by ego and outrage on repeat.
Said that Gutfeld talks about you all the time.
Who is he? Well, really, who is he?
I don't watch the show.
He has a show.
I don't watch the
never
show.
heard of him.
Yeah.
I guess he's just obsessed with me.
No. Next, Joy's going to say she's never heard of carbs. Seriously, her denial of knowing me is as believable as her red hair. But obsession? I mean, come on, Joy. Where would you even get that idea? Like Joy Behar's face, it's looking worse and worse by the day. More full of crap than Joy Behar after a night of scotch and Taco Bell. Her being named Joy is like me being named ugly. Joy wasn't there on the show. Apparently Mondays are her days off when she feeds in the past.
If Bill Maher is the jaded liberal scribbling sarcastic notes in the margins of the Democratic playbook, then Greg Gutfeld is the kid in the back of the room doodling the teacher, and now, those doodles? They're pulling major ratings. Gutfeld doesn't show up with policy binders or deep dive stats. He shows up with punchlines, energy, and the belief that comedy should hit where it hurts. He's what happens when your funniest, most sarcastic friend gets a desk, a studio, and full permission to roast everyone on TV. And when he set his sights on Joy Behar, it wasn't a jab. It was a comedy airstrike. This wasn't about politics. This was a full roast session, with sarcasm turned all the way up. To Greg, Joy isn't just another TV host. She's a goldmine of outdated rants, smug delivery, and that "I'm always right" vibe, all wrapped up in the charm of a foghorn at a poetry reading. While Maher calls her out for what she represents, the shallow end of progressive media, Gutfeld flat-out clowns her. To him, she's the loudest grad from Shout Over Everyone University, holding an honorary degree in dramatic interruptions. Gutfeld doesn't try to sound smart. He just laughs at the madness loud enough for everyone else to join in. And when he breaks down one of Joy's over-the-top rants, it's like watching a circus act try to give a TED talk, chaotic, confusing, and somehow still on air. To Gutfeld, Joy's commentary isn't thought-provoking. It's like a toddler banging on piano keys, loud, random, and only considered music if you're squinting through a hangover.
I just want them to pay attention to words like vermin and poisoning the blood and the Third Reich. That's all. That's really what I'm asking.
They see Trump as a comedian. They see him as a clown who says crazy things.
They saw Hitler like that.
Right, okay, but that doesn't mean, you can hate Trump. You can't hate everybody who likes him. It is hate.
Here's the wildest part. Maher and Gutfeld didn't plan any of this. No group chat. No backroom deal. These two don't even like each other. If they ended up at the same party, one of them would definitely switch tables. But somehow, without trading a single word, they landed on the same punchline. Joy Behar. She's not just a daytime host anymore. She's the Sistine Chapel of clueless commentary. Carefully crafted over decades, full of noise, drama, and hype, but way less substance than advertised. Both Maher and Gutfeld saw the same problem. Ego pretending to be expertise, yelling past off as debate, and moral outrage standing in for real thought. But their takedowns came from two totally different directions. Bill Maher treated her like a caution sign. This is what happens when ideology melts your logic. Gutfeld? He made her the blooper reel of serious journalism, loud, overacted, and always missing the point. It's almost poetic. One guy sipping scotch, the other chucking sarcasm, both pointing to Joy Behar and saying, "Yeah, this ain't it." So what happened? They turned her into a political piñata. No coordination, just two blindfolded guys swinging from opposite ends and still hitting the same soft spot every time. And Joy? She stayed quiet. No comeback, no rant. She didn't need to say a word, because the roast was already done. The damage didn't come from insults. It came from truth finally hitting back.
It is getting hit with one of the worst hurricanes that Behar will ever see.
But she should know. Does anyone remember that time when she got carried away by Hurricane Sandy? Take a look. Thank you.
Maher took down the entire ideology with one side eye. Gutfeld laughed straight through the illusion. And right in the middle, Joy Behar, center stage, the star no one asked for in a comedy special that wrote itself. Somehow, these two guys, polar opposites, ended up on the same ride. Was the timing brutal or genius? Depends on your sense of humor. While politics today keeps shrinking into viral clips, tantrums, and hot takes, the last thing we needed was Joy Behar shouting over coffee mugs and cardboard applause signs like she's running for queen of confused outrage. And yet, there she was, standing tall like a lighthouse for every outdated opinion Gutfeld mocks and every fake woke trend Maher exposes. It was like a cartoon character wandered into a serious documentary and refused to leave. Maher played it like a tired philosophy professor finally snapping after grading one too many TikTok essays. Gutfeld? He kicked in the door, flipped the table, and dropped the punchline with perfect comedic timing. Different styles, same mic drop. Joy Behar isn't a pundit anymore, she's a laugh track in human form. Always jumping in to tell you, this is the part where you're supposed to care, even when what she's saying is forced, flat, or just plain off. But don't get it twisted, this isn't just about Joy. It's about the whole energy she brings. She's the ghost of media past, back when shouting was mistaken for strength and real nuance got booed like it interrupted your favorite soap opera. She's the sparkless finale of a fireworks show that should have ended 10 seasons ago, but someone forgot to pull the plug.
And finally, new rule, stop saying that Whoopi Goldberg getting yanked from The View right after she attacked me on The View is karma. There's no such thing as karma, sorry. Sorry, but life is random. The only word to describe it when a big game hunter gets trampled by an elephant and then eaten by lions is hilarious.
And here's what makes it even wilder. Joy Behar doesn't even realize it. That smug confidence she carries? It's like a vanilla-scented candle at a yoga retreat, soothing to her, but suffocating to everyone else. That's what Maher slices up. That's what Gutfeld tortures. The wild belief that shouting equals truth, that airtime equals insight, that repeating the same take 100 times somehow makes it deep. It doesn't. It just makes it comedy gold, unintentionally. And in the strangest twist of modern media, Maher and Gutfeld became the accidental buddy cops of political takedowns. One shows up with sarcasm so dry it could slice glass. The other charges in like a stand-up comic strapped to a leaf blower. Together, they dismantled Joy Behar's credibility like a Lego tower on a trampoline, bouncing, collapsing, and completely unserious. Maher didn't need to name names. His shots at hollow liberal pundits were laser-precise. If you squinted, you could practically see the red glasses and hear, "Let's do another segment on gun control." Gutfeld? No subtlety. He launched jokes like grenades, laughing like a guy who knows he'll never get brunch with The View and couldn't care less. He's not after champagne and polite applause. He wants chaos, punchlines, and a front row seat to the meltdown. But here's why this roast actually matters. It's not just that Joy got torched by two guys who'd rather chew nails than agree on dinner. It's that in doing it, they exposed a bigger truth. The loudest voices in media aren't always the wisest. Sometimes they're just the loudest.
Here's Joy Behar talking about refusing to share a kidney.
I find my friends bizarre. With a Trump supporter. I won't give them a kidney, but I could be friends with them.
Hey, Joy, it's a kidney, not a pizza. Of course, she's kidding at first, but then she goes on to explain the moral foundation for her resentment, and it's the same one that drives all deadly ideologies.
Here's where the real laugh comes in. One guy dropped in from a liberal cocktail lounge. The other came tearing through from a conservative dive bar. Different worlds, same punchline. And no, this isn't because Joy Behar is some mastermind pulling strings behind the scenes. She's not the puppet master. She's the puppet, the face of a broken media loop where confidence gets mistaken for depth and self-righteousness passes for personality. The View stopped being a talk show a long time ago. Now, it's basically group therapy for people who think shouting equals truth. Joy doesn't debate, she announces. She doesn't build arguments, she hands down verdicts. It's not commentary anymore. It's a lie shrine to smug opinions, backed by coffee mugs and cardboard applause signs. That's what made Maher roll his eyes from his mountain of monologues. That's what made Gutfeld smirk from his sarcasm bunker. Different approaches, same demolition job. And here's the real kicker. Maher and Gutfeld don't agree on anything. Not politics, not tone, probably not even pizza toppings, but they still caught the same scent in the air. A stench of real conversation getting buried under hollow applause and fake wisdom. Joy Behar isn't just a panelist, she's the mascot of an entire media era. One where yelling means you're right, and having a mic somehow makes you an expert. So when two guys who never agree both reach for the same comedy scalpel, that's not politics. That's a cultural diagnosis, because Joy isn't the problem, she's the symptom. Shows like The View don't discuss, they perform. It's an echo chamber so tight, even the Wi-Fi probably has a political stance. They preach to the choir with so much drama, even the choir starts asking for subtitles just to follow the script.
If The View is your favorite show, you might be a little slow. Yes, it's time for
Our View on The View.
very serious music. They love to play the race card because logic for them is hard.
It's basically karaoke for pundits. Same old songs, same outrage, just served with extra sass and a fresh haircut. They recycle the same tired takes like leftovers, slap on a smug grin, and pretend it's gourmet commentary. Meanwhile, the studio audience claps like trained seals at every dramatic mic drop, but the rest of us? We're watching like it's a wildlife documentary on delusion, witnessing the last days of media credibility in real time. That's the punchline Maher and Gutfeld nailed. Comedy still has the guts to punch through the absurd, even when the absurd is polished, powdered, and flashing cue cards under blinding studio lights. Maher showed up sipping sarcasm like fine wine, tossing shade with the smirk of a philosophy professor. Gutfeld? He stormed in like a bar fight in motion, swinging hard, laughing louder, and naming names. Right in the middle? Joy Behar, the icon nobody asked for, starring in the roast that wrote itself. She didn't just bring opinions. She brought the noise of self-importance crashing headfirst into reality's brick wall. It wasn't explosive, it was embarrassing. And maybe, just maybe, this whole moment wasn't about earning the libs or clowning the right. Maybe it was simpler, comedy reclaiming its crown. A reminder that the only place where political nonsense, no matter which side it's on, gets smacked down fairly is the joke arena. Maher and Gutfeld didn't just throw shade. They set the whole script on fire. Because in a world where people can't even agree on what day it is, there's one universal truth that still brings us together. Joy Behar's latest take. Hilariously, gloriously, facepalm level wrong. But here's the twist, it wasn't personal. No one was out to humiliate her or end her career. They were just making jokes, calling out the ridiculous, and ripping off the circus mask. And Joy? She was just standing there, center stage, basically begging to be the punchline.
I talk about Whoopi Goldberg because I got so many texts this week because she attacked me the week before.
Sure.
So she was, everybody was like, oh, Bill, I get you're enjoying the karma. First of all, I'm going to talk about this at the end of my show next week, teaser. But there is no fucking thing as karma, okay? Get over that. Whoopi attacks me on a regular basis. She says stupid shit on a regular basis. They just happen to coincide. But
It's like watching a sitcom you can't stand, only to realize the main character is also the head writer. Joy Behar didn't just walk into this roast, she wrote the invitation. Maher and Gutfeld didn't need to plan a thing. She served them the content on a silver platter. What they gave us wasn't a debate. It wasn't even a confrontation. It was a bipartisan roast battle airing across two networks, united by one simple message. If Joy Behar is the voice of reason, well, yeah, we're all in trouble. Maher dropped the lecture. Gutfeld brought the popcorn. And Joy? She gave them both the material of a lifetime without even knowing she was the joke. That's what real comedy does. It doesn't pick sides, it exposes them, one roast at a time. If you love truth bombs, savage takedowns, and moments like this, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because trust me, this ride is just getting started. See you in the next one.